Hey everyone, today we are back again with another Dragonheir video, and in this video we'll be showcasing another team for Vortex. Congrats to whoever that was that pulled out a legendary from this is the horn pull, so you go here and yeah, it's very rare to get a legendary from this otherworld horn. I actually did get one legendary yesterday after that. That is after I've been playing since like the day 3 of beta, and this is my first legendary from the horn, so it does happen. I used to think it doesn't happen, but enough about that. So today we'll be talking about Vortex again, and today we'll be showcasing a wild team. The wild team in question is going to contain Flora, and honestly it is one of the most free to play friendly team that is out there. There are a lot of different teams like you've seen over the past. These are like rally teams similar to what I was using. So this is the Flora team. It's comprised of one epic. You can actually go 2 epics. So this has 2 epics. You can go to up to 3 epics actually in this one. And look at the damage output compared to any other team. And sadly, I was using a different comp. I didn't want to use Flora again from beta, but I think this is something of a problem that we need to talk about within the game itself. There is no other champion besides her that is able to dish out as much damage as compared to any other legendary, regardless of the inspiration level, right? Especially in Vortex, in any PvE content, if you don't have you're kind of like, you cannot compete in a lot of PvE things. Let it be like, Vortex, you can especially not get rank 1, I'm pretty sure. I'm going to be testing out other teams. I want to test out a poison lightning team as well, so I will be doing that later down the road. I was saving a lot of my XP pots to do some epic content, some other teams, but unfortunately I had to spend it all for the Alliance Wars or the Sparkle tournament, and this needs to be completely changed. I feel like this is not worth it. You should have the competitive mode settings here as well. There's no reason why you have a CVC where you are like just locked out of all your gear, you're locked out of your champions, and you have to build the champions from scratch again. So I really hope they really do make a competitive mode settings for a lot of different things in this game, so people can experiment. Another thing that stops people from experiment is the Psyche core. So you should be able to max it out around like 2.5 month time, depending upon how you rank within the PvE activities of the game. But this is a huge problem, right? Like, you are forced to build one tree, right? And it forces you to make these affinity decisions. I would rather have them not have this affinity style. So at this aspect, like, just make the 5 hero affinity effect to increase 10% regardless of the affinity. So everybody it makes it easier to first of all complete. You want to complete it as quickly as possible, and it's a season over season game, so this is going to reset to level 0. So I don't really get what's the point of like having like different trees for different affinities. It just doesn't make sense. It like forces your hand. Oh, you have to choose one affinity and that's about it. Like, come on, that's just so bad design. Like, you should be able to experiment in any gacha game where you have tons of legendaries. The one thing that you really want is to like pick and try whatever team you can manage. And like, if you limit us with this thing, like, it's very hard to compare damage. Like, if I already have this at max, right, the lightning and radiance, and my fire is not leveled, my frost and my ice and necrosis is not leveled, so I can't do like one-on-one damage comparison test as well. So I wish it was all were like this. It increases the 3% and then 5% affinity for everything. It shouldn't be like capped to a certain amount. It's just bizarre to me, like the way they've structured it. And the reason that you want to place really high in Vortex, so let's go back to the rankings. So you will have these echoes of Clypsedria that you will collect each day from completing Vortex, right? And what you want is to be able to land into a decent tier. So you want to land at least like 150, top 150 in your server. So you're able to get this as well, the premium summon ticket and the supreme summoning tickets. What these does is they reduces the mercy. So they will give out legendary at the 10th pull instead of a 35, right? And it increases the probability of gaining the new hero or added to the season. And for the supreme one, you have no restriction on which new hero you can pull. With the epic ones, you have some heroes that you cannot that are not available for summoning. With rare ones, there are also there are some which are not available for summoning. So from the looks of it, it seems like if with these 10 tickets, everybody is able to get at least one legendary. Like you just need like 10 of the Heliolite dice and you will be able to get. So even if you're in the top 95%, hopefully you're there. Everybody should be able to get at least one legendary from that. Another area where you could get a lot of these Echoes of Clypseria is going to be the Otherworld exploration. You actually get more of it from the Otherworld exploration that you get from the entire season of doing Vortex. But you do want to maintain a high Vortex ranking and to be able to like really participate in the 21 to 50 range, which is I think a lot of you should be targeting. I went the other way, sorry. So this is where you should be targeting yourself at least to get to 11 to 20 or 21 to 50. And otherworldly exploration is a great way to do that too. So moving over, in this team what we have is going to be three legendaries. One is for free. And Flora, if you're lucky to pull her, amazing. If you don't have Flora, don't be discouraged. There are other ways to like maximize your damage. I'm just showcasing this because I feel like this is a problem in the game, right? I'm not showcasing this because, hey, look, I can do so much damage. It's a problem. I don't want to play this team personally because I played it throughout beta. I have played it now as well, and I'm being forced to play it. If I want to be competitive, I'm forced to play it. No matter what legendary I want to play, I want to test, I cannot compete. So it's not that I'm showcasing this because it's a whale build or anything. It's actually the most free to play build because you only need this one legendary, that's it. And let's say you don't have Kairosos, you can, and if you don't have her relic, right, in those two conditions are met, you can replace her Kairosos with an epic, which is going to be your Alfie. Alfie is great because he's going to be boosting the drive damage of Flora. Kairosos, if you have, he's amazing. He is he's going to provide a lot of sustain. He's going to provide attack down as well. So the way that I've built this team, and I think this is going for general purposes for all people, regardless of what your spending habits are. Typically in a team, you want two supports, right? One of the support is going to act as a tank and three DPS units. This I think is like the best synergy that you can have. You can reach higher turn limits, like you can reach when the boss has like 130% additional damage thing, but it's not really worth it. You have to somehow find a balance where you're doing the best damage within a particular time frame. You're able to also sustain till like about 100 turns or something like that, and that's what most people should be targeting. So this does have some of a redundancy where this two people are going to be placing attack down, but the way I've timed the settings, I need his shields more than I need his attack down, right? And there's going to be a lot of manualing involved, but you can also go here, you save your team, and you can edit the skill timings, right? So if we go here, I don't know why this is such a bonkers number, but I just want it to be 12.2. Okay, so I've set the limit to 12. I can go to 11.5, but I don't want to do that because the minimum that other people are going to be is at 12. So the way we have the setup is Donalan is going to be having a gambler set, so that allows you to do additional derivative damage on your attacks. So if you read here, when the wear deals damage, it has a 30% chance to deal true damage, right? She doesn't have drive damage by herself, so you can always use gambler set to boost your damage. Then we have the Witch's Remain on it. If you don't have Witch's Remain, you can use the, what is the other one called? The Crown of Unclean. It has a defense penalty 1 with a higher chance, 75%. But on Talalan, since it's a 5-hitter, the chance of landing that debuff is almost, guaranteed, pretty much. And then we have attack and some accuracy. We have more attack and more accuracy because I do want to get to that 220 threshold. We have attack. We have crit damage. Although this could be attack, I don't know. I don't have an attack percentage glove and gambler set, so I'm just using that. Then we have attack percentage, more attack percentage, more attack percentage and accuracy just to get to that level, so I don't have to worry about her accuracy because I'm using an attack negative ruin. You can also switch to accuracy negative ruin and get more attack here, but that's up to you how you want to build. Next up, we have the fur bath. So the reason that I timed his I want to time his ultimate with the others is that I want to get the 3 emblem set boost. So he's going to be increasing the attack by 15% every 10 seconds, and I want to sync that up with Flora. We have the defense amulet, positive ruin and accuracy. I wish this was defense, but I just took whatever I could have. Like right now, gear is not important because once we unlock that increased legendary drop rate, which is going to be after a few days, we will be getting tons of legendary gear, and that's when I'll be farming most of my gear. So bad pieces overall. Nothing to be, positive about or anything. But I do have the HP. This HP could have been defense, or it would be great, but his heals are a lot. So he does this, incremental heal. It's like a 6 heal, so he will always have this damage bonus up to all allies. And then I have my tank. And in this case, what I mean as tank, because all the attacks seem AoE, is this Call of Lightning tank. Right, when you're building a Vortex team, again, regardless of your spending habits, the person who should die the first is going to be your tank who's taking the Call of Lightning damage. If anybody else is dying in your team, that means that there's some sustainability issues, there's some level issues, something is going wrong that you need to fix before you fix anything else. Your tank should be the first person to die. So for example, if I increase the sustainability of my tank, and if somebody else starts to die, okay, I need to fix the sustainability. The moment your tank dies, the run is basically over within the next turn or so. So that's what you should be targeting. What I really want from him is that his ultimate should be hitting right before the Call of Lightning, so he gets a thick shield above him. And his ultimate should be timed with the rest of them so they don't get basically harassed. They want the attack bonus from the set bonus, right? On Flora, you want the Platinum Knight chest set actually. So what it does is whenever you ultimate, for that window you get 30% damage boost, which is perfect. On Eric, we have the Dawn of the Pipe Organ. You can pick anything else, whatever you feel like, to boost his damage, or if you can give somebody else damage. There's also another legendary piece which actually heals others based on the damage that you take, so it's good for that as well. But Gambler set is kind of like a must. The chance to do more drive damage is pretty good. So we have attack, more attack, and just attack. This lightning also attack with attack percentages here as well. So this is basically the composition of the team. Again, like I said, like you can replace him. There are other options, but I find like this is the best sustainability. Let's this run go. So there you go. As you can see, we did about 137 million damage. Yeah, in this thing, like what you want is like having, especially not when you start, but as you progress. I think after around like when the boss's damage increases about 60 stacks, that's when you want to think about like timing the ultimates the way I was doing between Furbath and Kairosos. Kairosos is always going to cover the middle two attacks. Basically, he's going to put up the shield right before the Call of Lightning and the third attack, and then Furbath is going to cover the last AoE and the first AoE. So you have attack down coverage for throughout the entire fight, and that's what you really want to maximize the boost. I think I can go about a bit further if I increase my defense on Kairosos. I will try to get some more levels on him. It's not easy to get levels, especially from 98 to 100. I think it costs about 150 stamina or something like that. So it's pretty expensive to do that. But definitely this team is bonkers when it comes to the damage. And if you go to statistics, you see this one unit is so broken. It did about 112 million of the damage. Of the 137 million, 112 was just Flora, right? So the next comparable is like, you know, Eric and then Tonalan. Of course, Tonalan has a lot of accuracy. She's not built for damage, but if you're building her for damage, she can definitely compete with Eric or even surpass him depending on the gear level. But that's basically the part of it. Like, this unit definitely needs to be nerfed. If anybody else needs to compete in Vortex, there is simply no way right now in this game to do it. You have these amazing units, I get it, but just one unit cannot be so overpowered that the entire Vortex is all about them. And it's a very boring run personally, because I played this throughout the season 0, which was the beta, and yeah, it gets tiring. I honestly didn't want to play it then. I don't want to play it now. I do want to make some lightning teams. Lightning team is really cool to make. There are some amazing teams for the other compositions. Like, I think poison is better if you do it after you have the legendary drop rate increase, because they just require too many stats and it's not easy to build them. Once you do build them, I think that with the new unit added by Kanya, they should be decent enough damage, but I'm pretty much sure that they are not going to be competing against Flora. Flora is just way too overpowered right now, and honestly there isn't a way to stop it. Like, you unless the dev really balance her out, there is no way you get to this level of damage in Vortex. I won't be saving it for now. I don't really need to save it for now. I'm pretty sure that I can do it. But like, if you look at the rankings, right? Not here, but so these two are Flora comps. This is a entire fully inspired Flora. So 110 million. Flora 87 million. Flora 84 million. This is the next different thing. So the first 4 comps are something else, and then you need somebody who has, you know, all full legendary team. And this could be also better. I think if he replaces Jillian with Sagomir, it can be very, very better. Yeah, then we have Rally at 64. They are doing half as much as damage as somebody who's using Flora, and this is a fully inspired team. Granted, there are some design choices that they've chosen some choices of legendary which I don't particularly agree with, but definitely this will cap it out at 90 million. I can guarantee you that there's no way that they get to level 3 they will get above 90 million. Yeah, Flora 60 million. I think this person may not have the relic. Yeah, so he doesn't have the Flora relic, so that's why the damage is a bit less. Then we have Storm, who's using a poison comp. So finally something else besides Radiance and Flora. So that's the problem with the game. I think they definitely need to rebalance it, and it's understandable, to be very honest. It's not a huge complaint. The game just came out. I did make this a point in season 0 as well. I did report it, like, look, Flora needs to be nerfed. They did nerf a lot of PvE units, but they haven't nerfed her for some reason. She's the queen of PvE. Yeah, so I hope she gets nerfed, and hopefully you get to take away some of the points here and apply it to your own Vortex team. I'll see you guys next time.